Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm so excited because I'm going to be sitting down and doing a full face of Lisa Eldridge makeup. If you're not aware of who Lisa Eldridge is, I'm sure a lot of you already know who she is. Most of you probably do. She is a celebrity makeup artist and she also has a YouTube channel. She's had this channel for years. I have followed her for years and I've learned so much from her. What I love about her is just her calm demeanor and energy, and she's so good at teaching techniques, and so I have loved watching her videos. A few years ago, actually, well, a couple years ago, I can't remember exactly when she launched her own brand, but she started out with lipsticks, and I have been obsessed with everything she's launched since she launched it. I personally have been collecting almost everything that she has launched. I don't have every single shade of lipstick, but it's like a dream of mine to one day own all of her lipsticks because I don't know, I just really trust her. I trust her color choices, the formulas that she creates. You can tell how much love she puts in them and behind them. You guys probably know, you've seen me use some of her lip products on my channel for a while, but more recently she had a very exciting launch. She created her own foundation, and after this foundation I was like, okay, I gotta sit down, I'm gonna try the foundation, we're gonna do a full face with her stuff. She doesn't have every single product yet, but I'm gonna be using every product that she's launched so far. We'll do a little bit of a wear test, kind of get a good feel for this new foundation. Something that was really cool, I actually bought some of her newer lipstick shades that she launched, and in it she sent out foundation samples, which I thought was really cool. So I kind of went off of those samples and chose my shade off of that. It actually was a different shade than what I received in the samples, but it was so helpful for me to be able to kind of shade match myself that way. Let's just get right into it. I did want to show you guys that I did also pick up another shade of the Elevated Glow. I think that's what this is called anyway. It just says Seamless Skin Elevated Glow. I bought one of these a while back. I bought the shade Cosmic Rose, which has a really beautiful pink undertone. I wanted something a little bit more champagne and was hoping that this would give a little bit more of a pop to the skin. We'll have to see though, because it looks a little bit deeper in the jar than this one, so we'll see. We'll find out if it works or not, but I've been really enjoying this. I always look forward to Lisa's videos when she launches a product because she goes so in depth behind the formula, her thought process behind it. She's kind of like a makeup nerd that way, which I resonate with so much, and that's a reason why I love watching her channel too. I own her book. She's obsessed with like vintage makeup as well. But when she talked about this product specifically, she talked about how it has a technology, and I don't remember off the top of my head what it's called, but basically it kind of creates like a mesh over the skin and kind of lifts and tightens things. I just love having a little bit of a backstory on products because it makes me think about those things when I apply it every time. I'm just gonna keep the glowy bits to like the high points of the face today because I do want to really see how the foundation wears in the center of the face and try not to go too overboard with anything too glowy underneath for the sake of the foundation. So I'm just going to take my sponge and kind of press this into the skin. I just created like a C shape around here so that when I turn my head there's a little bit of extra glow there. All right, let's go ahead and try out the new foundation. So this is the Seamless Skin, the foundation from Lisa Eldridge. I will say I was not expecting this packaging. So when I first opened this up, I like ripped the top of the box off and this came tumbling down. Luckily it didn't shatter or break, but just something to point out if you did order this foundation already. When you open it, be gentle with it because it can topple. It's a really unique shape. Look at this packaging. Okay, so this has like a little bit of more info about the foundation. Okay, here's that little mesh thing that she was talking about that was also in the highlighter. She put it in the foundation as well. It's called Film XL. It's a clever biopolymer that forms a resistant and flexible mesh on the skin. 3 minutes after the application, the biopolymer sets, delivering a subtle lifting, tightening, and smoothing effect. It also acts as a natural barrier against pollution and irritants in the atmosphere. I geek out over stuff like this, so I was really happy to see that they have a little ingredient guide in here. There's also green tea extract in here, bamboo stem extract, and I don't know how to pronounce that other extract in the top. Here's the packaging though, you guys. Isn't this so cool? It actually doesn't have a flat base, so you're supposed to lay it on a flat surface, and it's gonna have, let me see if I can show you. It kind of has a little bit more of an uplifted angle so it won't spill out, hopefully. I ended up going with the shade number 5. This is a shade that wasn't in my sample card, so I'm hoping that it works. This is supposed to be for light skin with neutral undertones, which is me. So here's the cap. You do get a pump applicator. I swatched this earlier hoping that the shade would match, and it looks like it will, so I'm hopeful. I'm gonna give this a good shake. I'm gonna go ahead and link Lisa's video about this foundation in my description box because I watched the entire thing and learned so much and really appreciated it. But of course, she created this, so she's gonna be able to explain it better than I ever could. But I will say I was so impressed at how she created this with so much love, and she actually, let's apply this as I talk. I'm gonna just do one side of the face first. She actually developed this formula from scratch, she said, which was so impressive because I'm pretty sure, I'm not like an expert at formulation obviously, but I'm pretty sure how it usually works is labs will have a base formula for whatever it is you're looking to do, and then you can tweak it, add ingredients or whatever. She didn't use a base formula. She literally started with water and pigment, she said, and just like kind of added things from there, which I really loved. I'm so excited about this shade match. It looks perfect. It's absolutely amazing. So let's go ahead and blend this out with my sponge. I always like to do that. I like to apply it with my brush and then a sponge always, no matter what the foundation is. So let's just go ahead and blend this out, press it into the skin. Wow, I love the coverage. I'm super excited about this foundation if you can't tell. Oh my gosh, like perfect shade match. She launched with 40 shades, which I think is amazing. So there really is something for everyone. And something interesting that she said, usually I'm like the lightest 1 or 2 shades in a foundation range, typically, unless it's a really large range. So the fact that I'm a 5 in this instead of like a 1 or a 2 shows you how like large her shade range actually is. Okay, so really love how that looks. Hopefully you can see there's quite a difference. I'm noticing that highlighter does give more of a pop, even though it looks a little deeper, this shade, Crystal Nebula. I feel like the shimmer in it is a little bit brighter than Cosmic Rose. I feel like I'm gonna use both because Cosmic Rose has that pink undertone, which I also love. All right, let's go ahead and apply that same foundation to the other side of the face. She also described this foundation as not being too matte or too dewy, which I'm noticing. It's just a very natural finish. And she said you can manipulate the finish depending on what you prep the skin with. I didn't purposefully prep the skin with anything specific today. I just used my skincare. But you can see like the areas where I put the highlight, it's definitely showing through. So I love a foundation like that where I can kind of play with the finish depending on what I need based on like what I use underneath the foundation. So here it is all over the face. I really love how this looks right now. Obviously we're gonna wear it today. I haven't done a full wear test. There was actually quite a bit of product that was in the samples that I got, but the shades weren't quite right. They were a little bit too light for me. So I never ended up doing like a full wear test with them. So I'm really excited to wear this today. I'm gonna go in with some concealer. Let's use the Makeup Forever Ultra HD Self-Setting Concealer. I have mine in the shade 12. I'm just gonna do 3 little dots underneath the eyes. I'm not gonna put concealer on the rest of the face just to see how this foundation wears. So I'm just gonna blend this concealer out with my sponge underneath the eyes. So I think what I'll do is I'll probably keep the base on my desk so that I can have this standing up. It's such a unique bottle. I think it's really, really pretty. I'm interested to see like how I end up liking it over time, you know, because I'm just so familiar with bottles that stand up. But this one is a really, really cool, innovative shape, which I think fits the very innovative formula, you know? It's really cute actually, sitting in the stand. Okay, I'm really liking how this foundation is looking. I didn't add any powder yet, and you can see it's not overly matte or dewy like she described, and it feels like it's really setting down. Maybe it's that mesh biopolymer finally drying, I don't know. Point is, I'm really liking how this is looking. I do have some of her cream blushes that I think I've only tried off camera a couple of times, so I really wanted to make sure to use these. I'm just trying to decide. Normally I like to set my entire face during a foundation routine, but these blushes might look really nice over top of just this. So I'm debating what to do. Okay, while I think through that, I'm gonna go in with my Dibs bronzer and blush duo. I'm gonna use the bronzer in the shade Spilled the Tea, just to warm things up a little bit before we move on to everything else. Okay, now that that bronzer is on, I am gonna go into my Lisa Eldridge Seamless Skin Enlivening blush. I'm going to use the shade Pink Soap. I just love that name. And I'm going to do just the tiniest amount on the back of my hand. Just about this much. That's probably too much actually. I'm going to kind of warm it up in the back of my hand first. I think I might use my fingertips to apply this. Yeah, I'm just going to smile and kind of tap this into the apples of the cheeks using my fingertips. This is a really nice soft pink shade. I also picked up two brighter colors, Dante's Dream, and I bought Pink Poetry as well. But I think this one again is a really nice just soft pink, which will be great with whatever lipstick I end up wearing. So same thing on this side. I'm adding a little bit more initially because I do want to use powder to set the under eyes and the T-zone. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to take a little bit of my Laura Mercier setting powder and I'm going to lock in that concealer and I'm dragging it down the T-zone just to make sure that that's nice and locked in. And I'm taking a little bit more and just pressing a tiny bit of powder on the outsides of the face. The blush is still showing through, which I think is so pretty. I'm going to take a little bit of my Dior bronzer and just sculpt out the cheeks and add a little more warmth to the forehead really quick. I'm now gently pressing everything into the skin with my sponge just to get rid of any of that extra powder. Okay, I'm just gonna fill in the brows really quickly and then we're gonna move on to highlighter on top of this and then we'll pick a lipstick, which I'm the most excited about. Okay, so brows are on. We're gonna go ahead and use that same Elevated Glow. This is the Crystal Nebula shade and I'm gonna first apply this on the back of my hand. And I'm actually going to use the side of my sponge to pick that up and then press that down onto the high points of the face. Again, I'm just going to keep it on like the sides of the face today so that I can really see how it wears, how the foundation wears anyway, in the center. Oh, but this is so beautiful. Oh, I already loved the Cosmic Rose color, but this one, I feel like it does give that a little bit more of like a pop. Just a little bit more of like a silvery shift to it, which I really love. We got to do a quick eye look. I'm going to keep it basic today. I'm just going to use my bronzer. So I'm just going to shape the eyes out with this. I'm just going to pop on mascara. This one is the REM Beauty Volumizing Mascara. All right, mascara is on. I'm going to wipe off any foundation on the lips. And then we're going to pick out a lipstick. So like I said, I've been collecting her lipsticks for a while. I don't own every shade yet, but I do own a lot. So I actually do have some lip liners, some of which were from the holiday set she did last year. But then she recently just launched all of her velvet lipstick shades in lip liner shades, which is really exciting. So I picked up a couple of those. I'm trying to figure out which one I want to do. I think we should wear one of her new shades, which I need to remind myself what those are. Let me go on her website really quick. Okay, so she just launched new shades in the True Velvet lipsticks, which are so amazing. Okay, I think 3 out of the 4 new shades. There was Velvet Cinnabar, which I haven't picked up yet, but there's Velvet Blush Lightly, which is this really gorgeous, kind of rosy pink color, I would say. And then we've got Velvet Petal, which is like a true pink. How pretty is that? And then we have Velvet Intrigue, which is a little bit more on like the nudie peach side. I don't know if you can see this. Maybe if I get so close. Oh my gosh, look. Can you see that like grid pattern almost that makes it look like velvet on the lipstick? It's amazing. I feel like Velvet Petal would look so pretty with this blush. I'm kind of leaning toward Velvet Petal. So I did buy the lipstick in the shade Petal, which matches. Let's go ahead and apply this all over the lips. I love this lip liner formula too. I also recently picked up the shade Velvet Fawn, and it's like the most stunning nude. But I wanted to do like a little more of a pop on the lips today. So I think this one will be perfect. All right, we're going in with Velvet Petal. I'm just gonna use my finger to really press and blend that into the lips. I truly feel like that's such a beautiful pink lipstick. I feel like it just makes me look and feel so fresh, but it's also really wearable still. I don't feel like I own a color quite like this one. That's what I love about Lisa's lipsticks. She just creates the most incredible colors that are so flattering, but also very unique and different. I might try to add a tiny, tiny, tiny bit more of the Pink Soap blush. I'm just gonna warm it up in between my fingertips and just smile and see if that adheres at all. Because after I applied lipstick, I feel like I could use a little more blush, just a little bit. That seemed to work really nicely, actually. I'm gonna take what's left on my fingers and kind of throw that into the crease to tie everything in. She also created these amazing glosses. Let me figure out what they're called. I know they have a specific name. Gloss Embrace Lip Gloss. They're so lovely. I recently picked up the shade Charm, so I think I'm gonna wear that one today. But I do own 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these so far. I'm telling you, you guys, like, collecting Lisa Eldridge products is one of my favorite things to do. Okay, let's add a little bit of this just onto the center of the lips. And then I'll take my finger and press that in. The thing I like about this formula is how comfortable it is. It's so nourishing. And again, the colors that she chooses are just so beautiful. All right, I'm going to assess the situation, kind of step back and add a little more bronzer. I feel like everything else is pretty muted, but I love that pop of pink on the lips. So far, the foundation looks so nice. I'm really liking how it applied. I really liked the coverage. We, of course, are going to need to wear it, so I'm going to be wearing this makeup for the rest of the night. Let's do a little bit of a wear test right now. I normally would set the face, which reminds me I do want to set the brows. But I normally would use a setting spray at this point, but when I try a new foundation, as you guys know, I don't like to put a setting spray on top just to make sure I really get a feel for the foundation and how it wears on its own. So I'm just going to put on some clear brow gel. And it is a little bit later in the day, but I am usually quite a night owl, and especially after daylight savings here, you guys, my body clock is so thrown off. So I literally feel like it's mid-afternoon right now, but it's 5:20 p.m. So we're gonna wear this for as long as possible. I will probably be up pretty late, so I'll be able to get a solid wear test in. But here's what everything looks like. I really love, especially from far away, just the natural finish that this has all over the skin. I'm super excited to see how the foundation wears. I have very high hopes because I'm such a huge fan of Lisa and I just feel like she creates such magic. So let's go ahead and see how this wears. I'll see you guys in just a little bit for my first check-in. So you guys probably know when I do my first check-ins, I usually like to do it in front of natural light. So I came upstairs to go by a window and show you what this looks like in natural light, and it's completely dark outside. Instead, here I am underneath the kitchen lights, so hopefully this is somewhat helpful for you guys. I'm really liking how this is looking so far. I also wanted to point out it feels very lightweight and comfortable on the skin, which I'm loving. So yeah, I mean, based off the application, so far so good. Obviously, we're gonna have to keep wearing this to really see how I feel about this foundation as a whole, but I do have high hopes for this, and so far so good. I think it looks so pretty. So I'll see you guys in a little bit for my next check-in, and hopefully things are still looking good. All right, so I'm back. It's currently 2:10 in the morning. I need to go to bed. I've been wearing this for about 9 hours now. I left the lipstick untouched so you could see how it wore off. I ate dinner and this is how it faded, so I just wanted to show you guys. I've tried these lipsticks before and I really love how they wear, but my lips are feeling a little bit dry and I feel like I need something. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw on one of these glosses really quick. This is Beauty, just to kind of freshen things up a little bit, and then we'll take a look at the foundation. Okay, so overall, I feel like from far away especially, it looks really nice. It looks so nice along the top portion of my face especially. For some reason around my mouth, it's starting to kind of look a little bit like it's separating. I don't know if that's like my natural oils that came through. I could have also touched my face. Sometimes I tend to do that. So I'm not really sure what that's from. But everything else looks really nice. I mean, it is dewy in the center of the face. That's just how my skin gets. However, when I do wear tests, I never touch the makeup up. And so I always feel like I could have gotten a little bit more longevity out of my foundations when I do wear tests, just because I normally would touch up at this point. For the majority of the day, it looked really balanced, which I loved. It's just now starting to get a little bit too oily for my personal taste. Let's go ahead and see what it would look like if we were to touch this up. So I'm just gonna take some of my Laura Mercier powder, just take a little brush. I'm just gonna kind of press this on the T-zone. Yeah, I feel like that completely refreshed the makeup, especially in this area here. Again, for some reason, I don't know, it's just like breaking up a little bit around the chin area, which is so weird because usually if that area starts to break up on me, it usually means that the T-zone entirely does, but everything else looks really intact and really smooth. So I'm not really sure what's going on there. Part of me is wondering if I did end up applying a little too much product there, but there's not really a way to know until I try it next time. So, I mean, that really did refresh it. Right now, I really am liking this foundation Because of the whole chin wear situation, I am gonna have to keep trying it and get back to you guys on like whether it's a need or not. But with that being said, I really did enjoy so many things about this foundation. I am excited to keep wearing it, so I'll definitely keep playing around with this. The nice thing about this foundation, again, is that she has the samples, I believe, still on her site. So if you wanted to try out like one of her lipsticks, by the way, this is the shade Velvet Fawn. It is such a gorgeous one. But if you buy anything from her site, you could get a sample and try it out for yourself before actually going in and picking up the entire bottle, which I think is really, really great. So with that being said, I will keep wearing this foundation. So far, almost so good. It's only the chin area that I'm like, wait a minute, what happened there? Everything else looks flawless. Like this entire section of my face, I love. And then there's just some separation going on. So I don't know if I had some sort of skincare underneath that interfered with it, or I'm thinking maybe I applied too much product. I'm gonna have to like watch this video back and see how much I applied. Other than that, I loved how the highlighter looked all day long, the seamless skin highlight. It looks beautiful on the skin and so natural, which I love. I felt like the blush really lasted well. I'm obsessed with all the lip colors, so if there's one thing that I feel like you should definitely try from Lisa Eldridge, it's the Velvet lipsticks. And yeah, everything else held up. By the way, you guys, I'm wearing the REM Beauty mascara, the volumizing mascara. I'm looking for it. I don't know where I put it. I've been trying it out for a few days, but I hadn't had like a full day where I was able to really wear it. And this is like my third or fourth time wearing this mascara. And as you can see, there's no smudging or flaking, which is awesome. So if you were wondering about that mascara, I've been using it for the past few days, and this wear test really solidified kind of my final opinion on it. I feel like it's really working. I've also noticed that this comes off really easily, so that's just a side note. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed seeing me use like a full face, or basically all the products that Lisa Eldridge has launched so far. I'm so excited to continue to see what she creates. I just love her so much. She creates such magic, so I just feel like I'm going to continue to be such a massive fan of her and her brand. Let me know in the comments if you guys have tried anything from Lisa Eldridge and what your thoughts are. I would love to hear about your thoughts on the foundation, if you've tried a sample or maybe you picked up the full size, so be sure to leave a comment down below. If you're new here, hi, my name is Allie and I would love for you to join the family. You can do so by hitting the subscribe button. And if you're already a subscriber but you want to be notified on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, click on the bell after you subscribe and you'll get a notification every single time I post. That's it for me today. I hope you guys have an amazing day wherever you are, and I will see you in my next video. Love you. Bye.